Welcome back to Geek with the Programming. I'm Chase Ingram.
I'm Captain America.
And along with me is Bill Grunler.
Wolverine.
We could talk about Hooverball today. I've been waiting for this for so long, and so has Bill. That's why he's frozen, because he got to switch his internet again. I'm sure he'll be back in just a second, but this is our CrossFit Journal, Greg Glassman Chipper.
Hi again.
Welcome back, Bill.
Shit.
Did the hamster stop running? Is that what the
and everything? I could hear you, and everything was fine. I'm like, what? I'm frozen. I'm glad you said something.
Yeah. Look,
I'm back.
And shit.
I'm back.
He's back.
I was busy talking to everyone in the chat, and then I didn't fix my shit.
Yeah, it's all right. Welcome everyone to the CrossFit Journal Book Club. This is Greg Glassman Chipper number 14, affectionately called Hooverball. Now, I went back and forth, and I think they spelled Hooverball wrong in the article, which is what I put in our little thing, and I think it's actually just one word.
Right.
So I'll have to fix that, as it says. But Hooverball, if you're asking what is Hooverball, you have come to the right place.
It's an OG thing. It is an OG thing. Welcome to the OG.
Welcome to the OG
once
show.
Again. Once again.
Oh, man. So I remember this vividly. Corey, Renata, Matt. Okay, so fun fact. This was the next article in the lineup. Leonard played this, I guess, with his high school students or something like yesterday. He used to send me videos on it. It's like, oh, wow, that's good timing.
No way.
Yeah. Hey, Wex, Space Wolves. Oh, that's going to be a great inside joke.
Space Wolves.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome to the show. Some exciting news. The last episode we did, we talked about our trophy case challenge. Challenges we're going to throw out all year back in the OG.com days that Greg and company would throw out for us to tackle. And exciting news, Bill. We not have but one, but we now have two people.
Right.
Who have already done all 200 reps. We had a third person try it.
Almost.
But apparently they only did 180.
Almost.
And that
person
is you.
I know. Gosh dang it. Man,
I was like, hey, I'm going to go try it. Then he texts me. He's like, dude, I did it. I'm like, no way. He goes, let me go watch my video. He goes,
180. So, okay. So those of you that are out there, they're going to try this. Here's a couple things. And I honestly think that, after doing it, there was some things that we may need to put little caveats on there just as we talk about this. Cause all right. So we said that the kettlebell has to continuously move, which means it can't rest up at the top either. So you can't swing it and stop. Like it's got to be like if it comes up and it comes back down. But if you're using that as a rest spot, I personally think that we should not count that. That's just we didn't say that ahead of time. It does.
You think so,
dude? When you're swinging for like 8 minutes straight, if you can not swing for 10 seconds, it's kind of nice. Yeah.
That's a lot of time under tension.
But it's different tension than what you're doing. It's resting your back. Now, let me give you my story. So I get down there.
Okay.
I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and do this. My plan was I was going to do 10 on each side.
Yeah.
So 10 on the one arm, 10 on the other arm. Boom. There's 20 down, but I'm counting in tenths because I wanted to bring my number down so that I didn't mess up the counting. So my strategy was set up so that I wouldn't mess up my counting, which obviously didn't work very well. Yeah. I got all the way through. So I got through 5 on each side. So there's 50. It was like 100. I'm like, okay, now we're getting to where it's good. It wasn't bad. I wasn't bad at that point. At about 140, 160, I was like, okay, now I can tell, like, I'm having to swing. I'm really having to use my hips to pull it up. I have to be it gets grippy. And if you have a weak side, it will really start to come out. And so as I got to the end, I could kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel. And in my mind, my last 20 was, the 20 before that, my left hand was starting to get weak. Like I could tell, not so much on the up, but on the down. When it was coming down, like it was wanting to like pull out of my hand and drop to the ground. So on my last 20, I was like, okay, I'll go 13 on my good arm, and then I'll go 7 on my other arm. Well, I went 13, 5, 2, dropped it, and I'm like, that's right, bitch. Nailed that shit. And I was all excited. And I'm like, okay, just to make sure. And I was more looking at how the reps looked just to see what it would look like. If I'm going to post it and we have Hiller looking at everything, I'm like, okay, I got to make sure that it's all, we're all the way up and blah, 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 whatever. So I'm going through and I'm kind of counting. Okay, there's 10 on each side and 20 and 30 and 40 and 50. And I get up to like 60. And then I got to like, okay, there's the last ones. Wait a minute. Was that 1-8? Wait. 10, 20, 30, 40. I did it like 3 or 4 times and 180 mother effing reps.
Like, that sucks.
I was so pissed.
That sucks.
But it is a really fun, it's a fun thing to try for sure. And it's not one that like I didn't get any tears on my hands or anything like that. So I mean, it was a good one.
Yeah. What was the toughest part for you? Like what started to really hurt? Fatigued.
I think it was my hand at the bottom of the swing, not the swing going up, but the bottom, like when it came down, because you have the weight of the kettlebell, and then you also have the weight of gravity coming down, and you have to stop it basically on your swing. So you do whatever you can to really mitigate that part. And like sometimes it would come down with a little bit of a twist, so that it was not as much of a drop, but it was fun. It was fun to play with. I think that will be a fun one to kind of, actually, I think it was a very good one because it's not that far out of range.
Yeah, I think the opening one, and that's what I want. I want the opening one to definitely be doable for most that have the capacity and desire to get that far, and not so far out of reach for those that have an opportunity to build up to it.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's some that will be thrown out there that are just like only a few humans will be able to do this. For example, the press to handstand into a handstand walk. That is a very niche skill set. And what you, me, and JR Howell were talking about today is that there are not going to be very many people that are going to be able to do that one too. What I wanted to ask you before we get into the book club here is that I think once we finalize our list, I think we just put them out early and just let people get after them, or do you want to release them on a month-to-month basis?
I think that I honestly like the idea of a little bit of anticipation.
Okay.
Maybe we don't have to make it stretch out a whole year. Maybe we do 2 a month or something like that once we get our list, because that way we can kind of announce it, because what we really want to do is we want to be able to give the Patreons, especially, like, that little bit of a help. Like, how would you train for this? How would you prep for this? We want to make sure that people have a way to kind of achieve those goals. But like this would be the only time that we do this too. It's if you sprinkle it out, and then once we get through the whole year, it's like, have at it. And every month, like, so let's say we get into the 5th month, I can still try to do the 200 kettlebell swings in that 5th month. It's not like you only have that month. It's just we're releasing it at that time. So it kind of keeps everybody on the hook, at least for a while. So I'm good with the month. I think that's really fun. Even if we want to cut it in half and go 2 a month, I think that's still okay.
Hey, I like that. We'll see. We'll get there.
Yeah.
But before we get to the book club, I want to celebrate our 2 contestants, or our fellow community. And the first one was actually, let me pull this up.
Yeah.
Jessica Martinez. You see those in the back. Bill, you got fired up because a master's athlete, Jessica Martinez, came out.
First person. And here's the wild thing. I'll play it. I'll play it with sound because it's just her, what I assume is her garage gym, just going for it, which is freaking awesome. So Jessica Martinez, you are the first person to complete the 200 unbroken single arm kettlebell snatches with 53 and 35 pounds. Our second one goes out to, let me pull this up. Now, I know you're talking about like the holding over the head thing. I don't think it's any easier at all. In fact, I would argue that it's harder. But I would.
Rory Marlowe, because like it took Jessica like 8.
Right.
It took Rory like close to 13. Like, I don't see anywhere that seems easier. But here's the best part about Rory, because it was funny. Is like our first one was a girl, our second one was a guy. 1 and 1 on the board. What I respect for Rory is that he's rocking, rocking the OG shirt,
and he turned just in time too.
He said he did a couple extra just in case, just in case. And I think Jessica did as well. I think she did over 200 just to be sure. So if you guys are going to tackle this challenge, that's right. OG Rory, thanks. I think he's in the chat here too. There he is.
Oh, dang. That's right, Rory. Badass.
Congratulations. That was awesome. So we're finalizing the shirt details now. That's that got there. All right. We're finalizing that now. Obviously, we'll get your addresses. We'll send you guys your gear. Congratulations to both you guys. That's freaking awesome. Anyone else want to try it? Again, you got to upload the video to YouTube. You have to follow and tag us, the OG Culture and Sherpa Works, to get your shirt that no one will be able to buy. They can only earn.
We got to get that on the website, don't we? Those rules, like what to tag, so people don't.
Yeah, I think in our community site, we'll release them. We'll put the rules in, the tags. We'll release the design. We'll have that. Yeah, we got to get that uploaded. But hey, we're just listen, guys.
Just start. Hey, it's organic.
We're just shooting by the seat of our pants right now. All right, this is something we like smashed together on accident like 7 years ago. We're like, hey, here's a terrible idea. Let's bring back the trophy case challenge. So that's one of them. But the one we have that we've already released in conjunction with this was the press the handstand from the floor.
No videos of those yet, right? No videos yet?
I saw one, but I think it was unrelated. It popped up randomly. And into a 100-foot unbroken handstand walk, which is funny because we showed you the magic of CrossFit video series that is starting the other day, and they just released one with Annie Sakamoto about her working on her press to handstand.
Yeah,
which is really cool because I mean, like, there's this very small portion of like the true OGs. Annie is for sure one of them, but she's still finding ways to improve her fitness and expand her boundaries, and she's been doing it for so long. I think that was the coolest part there.
Yeah.
Really cool part there. All right, let's talk about the Greg Glassman chipper. Now, we said Hooverball, and some of you guys' heads turned up like, what is that? Well, Hooverball, oddly enough, was something that I didn't know about until I joined a CrossFit gym. Did you ever hear about it prior to CrossFit?
I heard about it before I had my gym, but it's because like when I got indoctrinated into CrossFit, when I first found out about it, I heard that they did this game, and it was kind of like volleyball and blah 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 blah. So I had heard about it. I hadn't played it yet at that point or anything like that, though.
Okay. I remember it vividly because so early days CrossFit, we'll say that. There was this huge divide of definitions when it came to the CrossFit Games and declaring this the fittest person on earth. And what the problem was for some people is that they heard and read the word fittest and they termed or identified that as the most athletic or the greatest athlete. Like, that is not what we're saying. In fact, fitness and athleticism, in my mind, are actually two completely separate universes.
Totally.
You can Venn diagram it. You can have both, but sometimes the fittest are maybe some of the least athletic people you have ever seen. And when you term athlete, you think like athletes, like your major sports or any sport, like your multi-directional hand-eye coordination with a ball or a tennis ball, like soccer, like those are athletes. And sometimes the athletes could not survive most a CrossFit Games competition. Like, do you remember back in the day where like when Adrian Peterson was the greatest running back in the NFL, and they're like, if Adrian Peterson walked out here to the CrossFit Games, this is like 2000,
he would crush everybody.
He would win. I was like, no, he fucking wouldn't. He wouldn't even. He'd get cut. He'd get cut in the first 3 events, just like I did in 2010.
Right.
He'd be there with me with his 600-pound deadlift. I'm like, how's it feel? Right?
Yeah.
There's such a difference and a divide, and you know what like expand on that a little bit before we get into Hooverball. Is like that athleticism, fitness. You know,
I think that argument is one. It's very important to have, and it's weird that at this point, you know, especially us being CrossFitters, that we have our definition of fitness. Like that is like one of the foundationary like platforms that we do all of our stuff about. We design our programming, we design our training to improve fitness, and that's not a an unknown, clouded sort of thing. We can scientifically set that up by definition and know exactly what we're trying to do. The hard part is that no one's really done that for athleticism yet. I think it's one of those things that you can see someone that is athletic. I wouldn't necessarily say that an athlete is only one of the big sport type of people, but
no, it's not.
If you see someone that is,
well, if you win the decathlon at the Olympics, they declare you the world's greatest athlete. That's part of their title. It's not really printed on there, but that's what the decathlete or the heptathlete at the Olympics is given.
Which I wouldn't agree with either. Necessarily.
Neither would I. I'm just throwing that out there. It's
no,
like,
yeah.
Water polo players.
Yeah, we don't have that. Like when I think of like a running back and the fact that they can move around and they can do all these things, that to me is there's a lot of athleticism there. You look at some of the basketball players with they can bounce and move in air and change directions. There's a lot of athleticism there. I look at some tennis players when there's a lot of athleticism there, but I would never look at any of them and be like, by our definition of fitness, look and say you are the fittest or you'd be one of the fittest or anything. And I'm maybe that's something that eventually we should kind of try to play with, is if no one else is going to define athleticism.
Ooh.
I mean, and I'm just, well, I mean, to if nothing else, to play the game.
No,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because
sure. That'll be a fun piss everybody off game, which I'm all for.
And that's how you can actually have the discussion of that. Is
right.
You have to have some sort of a common ground and a common definition and common language in words to be able to use that. If you don't have that, then it's like we're talking about happiness, and what the hell does that even mean? I mean, who knows? So I think that is really interesting, and it's a super fun discussion.
Yeah.
But that's why you almost have to choose your words wisely whenever you say it, because it's like, no, we have a definition of fitness, so we'll just stay there. Screw all that other stuff. But you talk about the athlete or the fittest not being athletic. I mean, not to take a shot at Jason Khalipa, but when I'm looking at that, Jason Khalipa is not an athletic.
No.
guy. And he even said that. He's like, I am not good at any of those things. I work really hard for what I have. But then I look at someone like Rich. I see Rich as a very athletic CrossFitter.
Yes, he is.
And I think that what that does is that's because of his breadth of sports background. I mean, he football and baseball and hockey and hunting and this and that. He's done all these different things and plays with a lot of these things. So his body is adapted to do that
during the game season.
Totally, yeah.
It was before 2014 where he took a hockey stick to the face and cut his eyebrow open before the CrossFit games.
Like, okay, dude.
But I think
then we got other people that don't want to have sharp knives when they go to
exactly
compete,
right. And I think that's what made Rich great, is because he always had that competition around him. That's like what empowered him. That's why he was so good.
Right.
He was always competing at something. And the reason why I bring up this athleticism versus fitness, because when I first stepped into a CrossFit gym, I was not the fittest person there. I was humbled by how fit people were that didn't look and act more athletic than I was.
Right.
I came in more of an athlete until Hooverball came. And then I was the fucking man. And then it's so funny because I didn't know when I first started CrossFit, I never knew what the workout was. And so I would just show up every day for the 6 o'clock class and then wait for the coach to write the workout on the board. I was like, cool, that's what we're doing. Played Hooverball one time. And then for 6 months straight, I hoped that workout of the day was Hooverball again. And it never was. Coming in like, oh shit, deadlifts. Damn. I wonder if it's Hooverball. No. Hooverball. No. But I remember it happening and I was like, this is the coolest game ever. And so we'll dive into what Hooverball is. If we want to look at the article first, this is one of those very, very short ones that came out a long time ago. But Hooverball itself is, let's see where it is at the top. We found Hooverball. We were on the internet looking for something more competitive and sporting for the medicine ball. And honestly, if like you Google all of this, it's pretty fun to see what comes up and why this came out. And if I want to click over of really like anytime you see this on a Wikipedia page, is that Hooverball was actually designed for President Hoover. His personal physician, who was a Medal of Honor recipient, Joel T. Boone, designed this game basically on a sand volleyball size court with, it says, a 6-pound medicine ball thrown over an 8-foot net. And here's the wild part, is that everybody apparently in the cabinet would play this game. Can you imagine? Like, if Joe Biden got hit by a 6-pound medicine ball, he would explode. Like, if you threw a medicine ball at Trump, like, he would probably like it would just bounce off of him, and then he'd make sure it was like destroyed immediately, and all med balls in the country be banned. Like, could you imagine any president? Maybe Obama, for sure. W though, he would have done. Have you seen W throw a fastball? Fucking awesome. Right? But like, can you just imagine our last two playing this game? No chance.
Not even close.
Not even close. And this is a game created for him, and everybody played it, which is wild. Wild. So what I wanted to do is listen to this articles about Hooverball. It's really short, right? But to explain it, I did some YouTube rabbit hole searching, Bill. And we may or may get a strike, but hey, we figured we'd let the people know. So for your enjoyment, here's someone who made a video on Hooverball.
Welcome to another episode of Sports Encyclopedia Series, where you can learn about every single game that's ever existed on planet Earth. Today in our Sports
By the way, if you want to know about every dumb game,
go to this
guy's YouTube channel. It's like the Ocho. Just everything's in there.
Encyclopedia Series, we talk about Hooverball. So let's begin. a combination of volleyball, tennis, and medicine ball. The game was invented by President Herbert Hoover's personal White House physician, Admiral Joe T. Boone, to keep President Hoover physically fit.
Imagine that. Imagine a presidency and cabinet focusing on fitness.
Just look at the age of these dudes, and they're like, hey, we need to get a workout program. Let's go get out on that field. I'm going to throw this ball around. Look at that. I mean, look at that old guy with that little white mustache.
Right? Gangster.
He's like Prez. I'm
Yeah.
going to kick your ass with this game.
Hoover, I mean, look at the jawline. Look at that. That guy ain't fucking around with nobody. Anyways, continue. I'm also stopping so we don't get like banned.
Mega strikes.
This game used to be one of the most popular sports at the White House, played by the president, cabinet members, court justices, and government officials.
What other games were ever popular? One of the most popular. Yeah, I mean, the only game ever popular.
The fact that they're all playing it. Fantastic.
The game Hooverball is inspired by a game called Bull in the Ring that the Navy played while they were on ships. The basic objective...
By the way, I think Bull in the Ring, if anybody who's in the Navy and knows what this is, please correct me. But I believe it was like a boxing game where like one dude would stand and fight the next guy and just fight until he got beat. I feel like
the winner just stays in.
Yeah. And the only reason why I'm making this up, you know, I think this is because we talked about Tosh and the team shut up and row and rowing across the Atlantic. Tosh did that, but he never left. He fought every man on the ship in a day.
That's cool.
Really fucking cool. So if anybody knows...
Oh, that's why he trained Ghost, huh?
Yeah.
That's right.
Just another like feather in the cap of the legend of Tosh.
The game is to score more points than the opponent. How to participate in Hooverball? Hooverball is a team sport that involves two teams competing against each other. Both of the teams consist of an equal number of players. On the morning of the match, 4 to 18 VIPs should show up for the games around the south yard of the White House.
4 to 18.
I would love to see that.
I would just love to watch that.
Yeah.
I would love to watch that. Now, it has teams of 3 in here, but I've usually played in teams of 2, but we'll get there.
The game is played in a volleyball-type grass or sand court with a net in between. The game is played with a heavyweight medicine ball that weighs a total of 6 pounds.
Now, we have evolved. Yeah, we have evolved. Yeah, this was back in the day, Hooverball. I mean, look, you're not going to throw a 20 med ball at the president. I don't care who he is. This definitely makes the game more accessible, so you can see why.
The target for each team is to throw the ball over the net towards the opponent's side. The game begins with service from one team, and the opponent must catch it on the fly and immediately return it. The objective for both teams is to land the ball in the opponent's team's court without being able to return it.
Now, that was the coolest part because you ever play Ultimate Frisbee?
Yeah, not
it's kind of like that, right? It's like you catch the Frisbee, you got to stop running, and then you throw it. Right?
Yeah.
So same concept here. So if you catch the ball, now I can finally say catch. We're not talking about barbells.
There you
talking
go.
about med balls. I can say catch now. I don't have to look at my shoulder for Mike Bergner. You have to freeze and then throw it from there.
In case any player from the team loses the ball or throws it out of bounds, the team loses a point. The game is played with different...
And I thought that was interesting. A very interesting way to score.
That you lose points.
You lose a point. It's, I don't know if he said that right. It's like the team got another point. I don't know. But regardless, you get a point.
Different kinds of throws. 1, body twist is quick off the hip throw. 2, over the head is a whole body throw. 3, trebuchet is an advanced throw in which players keep the elbows straight, step forward, twist, and throw the ball.
Wow. Seriously?
And 4, in a spike throw, the player jumps so high and throws the ball to the opponent's side.
So high.
So high.
The player jumps so high.
A lot easier to do with a 6-pound ball. I don't recommend jump throwing with what the ball should be, which we will get to after this video. Dislocate both my shoulders.
How to win in Hooverball? The team that manages to score more points is declared as the winner. Friends, this is just an overview of the game, but if you'd like to know...
All right, there you go. Now you get it. Questions, everyone. Those are good basics, right?
Yeah. Hey, well, okay. So when you played, did you play? So you played the tennis version. That version right there, where the second you caught it, you had to immediately throw it back over. Because I played it where it was like the volleyball way.
Pass.
Okay.
I played with one pass. One pass.
Yeah.
So,
I actually like that way better.
The one pass?
The one pass.
Me too.
Or the ability to have one pass.
Right. And now what a traditional Hooverball setup should look like is take a sand volleyball court. I do 2v2 because when you put 3 out there, you have to make it a workout. And if there's 3 people, it's like playing 4-on-4 in sand volleyball. Like no one's doing shit.
Right.
But you play doubles because it actually requires fitness to go with your athleticism.
And there you go.
Right. It's a one-way street. One doesn't necessarily help the other. Anyways.
Right.
Well, no, that's not true. And the way we did it was I played in a couple tournaments. It sounds ridiculous. We divided the volleyball court in half. So a front half and a back half, kind of like a traditional volleyball court. Like, so for example, I think when you play indoor volleyball, you can't, like, there's a rule with where you jump from. Is there a rule?
You mean for serving or from
hiking? Or am I just making that up? Anyway, so we split the field in half. You have a front half and a back half. And the rule is if you catch the ball in the front half by the net, you have to throw it to the back half of the other team.
Oh, okay.
If you catch it in the back half, you can throw it anywhere you want. So people can't come up and just like dunk it on you. Right? So you have to, if you're in the back half and you receive it, you can either one pass it off and then move the ball, one pass. Renata, how tall? They said 8 feet, but your traditional volleyball net is what is it, about 8 or 9 feet?
I think what's weird is I looked to see what that was, and it's like 7 foot 11 inches and 5/8. It's like
so 8 feet.
Just make it 8 feet.
Yeah, it's 8 feet. So one pass, freeze when you catch it. If you catch it in the front half of the court, you have to throw it to the back half. If you catch it in the back half, you can throw it anywhere you want. And that was it. With a 14-pound ball for women and a 20-pound ball for men.
Right.
And the game is freaking awesome.
Yeah. Where do you serve from?
Behind
the line.
Yeah.
So
like
when
you have to be strong enough to get it over the net, because that is not an easy med ball toss.
I wonder if that's what they say, that tribulage draw, whatever that throw was.
It's a fancy word for catapult.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that doesn't work with a 14 or a 20-pound ball at all. 6-pound ball, okay.
Yeah, not from the side.
So we played it. That was the game that I would play with my firefighters. We'd always do it the last day of the year. And awesome. we'd go down to the beach because that was in our jurisdiction, and we'd take the 20-pound ball down there, and there'd be 4 of us on the engine, and we would go 2 and 2, but we would use the whole volleyball court. We did one pass. You had to serve from the regular serve line. So we had a full court. So you had a long throw on that first throw to get it over the net. And it's unbelievable how much force a 20-pound ball has as it's floating through the air, especially when you're trying to like dive for it or whatever. Like, I mean, I couldn't even imagine that in grass. We did it in the sand. So like you had to like get her, and if you were going to dive for it, like you still couldn't hit the ground. So you had to dive and like turn your body to catch it. So you could catch it.
Yeah.
You know, you could catch it kind of rugby-ish if you wanted to, but like you still had to keep it off the ground. But man, it was for everyone that wants to go out and play, it is super fun, but make sure that your back and your sides and your hips are warmed up, because the twisting and the shock of having weight go away from you and then your your back your rectus trying to hold all that. It's no joke, but it is so fun.
It's so much fun. And what's great is that everyone can play this game.
Yeah.
Fitness level, athleticism, like you really can. And just like anything, when we're talking about fun, this is using your body after training it, right? Like all of this stuff we do in the gym is like, why? Because you can go and play this game whenever you want.
Yeah.
14 and 20, like get a lighter ball. put 3 or 4 people out on the court, right? If you want to just like have fun, if you want to have fun and play a game CrossFit style, do that. 4 people, lighter ball, go nuts. If you want to make this like a sporting style event that has to do with athleticism and your fitness level, 2v2, full sand court, half and half, 1 pass, and then you go for it. 20-pound, 14-pound ball. It's
so
awesome.
Fun. It is so fun.
And shit gets real later in the like tournament when everyone's sweating and covered in sand, and that ball gets hard to catch.
Yeah.
Where you get sand in your eyes, or everything's slipping through your arms. And
what was your favorite throw?
The other than the moon ball, you do that.
Are you talking like granny shot, or are you backwards?
Granny shot, but reverse, and you just throw it up in the air as high as you can.
Yeah.
And just like assume that they are not athletic, or they don't want to catch that ball.
So as it's coming down, it's now about a 38-pound ball when you got the gravity attached to it. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of gravity, some sand in the eye makes an athlete less confident. What about you?
Same. I love going over the back, but I would go the alternating back and forth between doing like the high lob like that backwards, or that you could almost do a whip where it would like just hit the top of the net. I mean, in almost a straight line. So you have a line drive kind of ball. I mean, you have to kind of mess with it a little bit to get the aim down. Yeah. But you have any sort of you have any sort of speed on that, but man, it's so fun.
You were trying to do that where you like throw it and like have that ball spinning,
right?
Yeah, it's good.
Well, or you see those coming you see it spinning, you're like, motherfucker, here we go.
And like that one where the laces hit the ends of your fingernails. Like, God damn it. So I found for fun, I found one video. This looks like it's just out of like at a gym party, so people can see it just unfolding a little bit. Let me pull it up here.
I couldn't even imagine it indoors like that. No way.
This is how we played it.
I'd be so afraid to hit the ground.
Oh, dude, it was so sketchy. It was so sketchy. But just so you guys can see it.
Hi, we're gonna get messed up in here. Awesome.
Yeah. This is a tiny for starters, but B, there's 3 people, and they're also dunking it. So you can see why, like, you have that like, front half, back half rule.
Oh, that's not even a net.
No,
that's
it's
just
like
webbing. It'll go right through the thing and smack you in the face.
I know, it's like slack line. But there you go. So see, that direct catch wouldn't count for you, right? Because he landed on the ball.
Yeah, right.
So Bruce, you are actually supposed to. It's best played on a sand volleyball court.
100%.
Because it's already marked out for you. It's harder to run. It's more fatiguing on the legs. Because what's fun about Hooverball is that it is an actual like workout for the day. Like, you play a full game of Hooverball or a tournament. By the end, both teams don't even want to play anymore.
Dude, that guy in the yellow shirt, full commitment. He's gone down twice already.
I mean, he's wearing a Reebok like Games replica tee, so I think this is.
But okay, but have you ever dove on like those Black River mats?
Who's playing in jeans and like Skechers boots? That's the question I have. I like it. They invite this poor soul into the game. Like, all right, get to the side.
Yeah, well, geez, they were gonna throw it right at her.
I know. So, all right,
super fun.
And the thing with that is that I wanted to do
they should have done that at Wodapalooza, dude.
Yes,
they should have done. Wow.
I was thinking about this because if you can do a tug of war event at Rogue, there's no reason you can't do this as a team event somewhere at the CrossFit Games.
Yeah.
How fun would that be to watch?
That would be, oh my gosh, that would be so cool.
Like 8 courts or 4 courts going on at the same time, and it's just a tournament.
Yeah. I think that's rad.
Right? And how easy would that be to judge? It'd be freaking fun. Everybody get pissed off because of like bad calls, which is what we want.
Right.
What is
John
it?
McEnroe it out.
Dear Bill and Katie, build us an outdoor sand Hooverball arena.
I mean, they had all the sand with the obstacle course. They could totally do that.
Once.
Yeah.
I'm like saying it's like, you've already dumped a bunch of sand in the parking lot once. How hard can it be? But yeah, I think that'd be awesome.
That would be cool.
And I don't know,
dude. I'm gonna pitch it to Dylan. I'm gonna pitch it to Dylan so that next year at Wodapalooza, the community event
Hooverball
is just open team Hooverball.
Oh yeah, I mean the gauntlet thing's pretty sweet.
No, that is really cool. But you could totally have this other thing too. So then it's not, like I mean, it's not all CrossFitters. It's not. You just get anybody to come out and play.
Dude, I mean, you get Dynamax to sponsor it. Actually, no,
right?
You gotta get Rogue. If Rogue is your sponsor, they make med balls too. But
yeah,
enter your 4-person team to a Hooverball tournament for whatever per team. Put some prize money out there.
Oh man,
bags. He's like, hey, you going to Wodapalooza this year? He's like, yeah. He's like, you doing the gauntlet? I'm like, no, I'm doing the Hooverball tournament.
Hooverball. Hooverball.
Oh shit.
That would be super cool.
I'd be
it's
like,
Miami, man. Like, you know, it's right by the beach. Come on.
Like a CrossFit Top Gun volleyball scene?
Yes.
Can you imagine what the post-produced Hooverball tournament Instagram reel would look like?
Oh,
my goodness. People get all serious and shit, start putting like 1s and 2s behind their back as if they know which direction they're going to go with the med ball. Be amazing. Be amazing. This makes me want to go play it.
Totally. That would be super fun. Of course, we can't hear in California because it's raining like crap.
Raining
like crazy. 100-year storm, dude.
Oh, so your 100-year storm.
Yeah.
Your infrastructure handles it.
Well, everything's holding so far, but you got to right by the beach, so geez.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe we can sponsor the Hooverball tournament.
That would be sick.
All the med balls have an OG on it.
That would be cool.
OG and a cult in all white.
I like it. I like it.
You're talking. See, Elise, this is why we have these conversations with you guys. Because you guys have great ideas too. Stefan, Chase and Bill will be team captains and pick their team based off Patreon members. Ooh. That would be sweet.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're thinking it's a little too late for this year. or we find a sand volleyball court near Bayside and just like that's our OG gathering party.
Just pick it up. Just make it
happen.
We
just get like we did is like we get a keg, a couple red cups, and we just like pick teams and go play Hooverball for 2 hours at like 9 o'clock at night.
Sick.
Oh, well, hey, that's a short, sweet one, but we wanted to bring that one. I saw that on the list for a while, and I was like, hell yeah, we need to talk about that one.
It's so fun. I can't. If any of you guys do it for whatever reason, if you guys just hop out there, you get some people to play it for whatever, put up some video, tag us in it so we can put it up there.
Yeah, I just love seeing that stuff out there.
I mean, you guys, it's cool that we're getting tagged, like, you know, screenshots of like the show, but put it on, like, you know, tag it us and hashtag Glassman Chipper and Hooverball and show you guys Hooverball in it, and, you know, tag us in there, put all that stuff in so we can repost it for you guys.
Yeah.
But that's cool.
And, you know, thank you guys for all the posts and the tags, for everything. We love to share what you guys are doing because we want to let people know what the community's up to. So we really do appreciate it. But, Renata.
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
So they have the unique format this year. So they have Thursday, Friday. The individuals will be at Wodapalooza, which Bill will be calling with Sean Woodland. And then Saturday and Sunday will be the team's turn, which I will be calling with Sean Woodland. And then I'll be on site Thursday, Friday, doing a lot of stuff with the the CrossFit affiliate setup that we'll have there. So if you guys are on site, make sure you go find the CrossFit affiliate booth and all there as much as I can. We'll probably be wandering around with Canon Sherpa Works, and you might be at the Underdogs stuff, but we will be around. We will be available. And if you guys are around, please track us down. We'd love to meet you in person if we haven't yet. We'd love to talk to you. Just thank you for being a part of the show. Thank you for rolling with us. And Bill, I didn't tell you this. had forgot. But yes, the last episode was our 200th episode.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. We're not popping them out as much as Hiller and Savon. Sorry, we can't. That's just not. But
that's still, wow.
Yeah.
200?
200.
Dang.
I know. Pretty cool.
That's awesome.
And then in March, we'll celebrate our 3-year anniversary of the show, which seems like we've been doing it a long time, but like that doesn't seem like a long time.
You're right.
Yeah.
It feels honestly, it feels like we've done more than 200 shows.
Yeah.
But that makes sense though.
Yeah. 200.
About two a week. Sometimes we've missed a couple just with the holidays or weird, whatever coming up. That's about right. I could see that.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
That's about right.
I like it.
Well, gang, get out there, play some Hooverball, tag us in how much fun you're having today and the rest of the week. And we'll see some of you guys in Miami. We'll probably do one more show, I think next Tuesday. We're actually trying to get Jim Brobowski. I call him Bro Broski. He's doing the 365 days of hero workouts. We had him on, I think, last year when he completed 365 days of Murph. He just passed, oddly enough, 201, which is our episode today. 201. We'll talk to him. We'll get a little kind of a halfway point of how things are going, maybe what his top 5 worst workouts are to date. And then we'll go from there. I have a challenge for him. I've already told to him, but it's like, I think, I don't know how he's doing this. It's insane.
Yeah. I don't know how his body's holding up. It's crazy.
And so what I want him to do is that he's done 365 days of Murph.
Mm-hmm.
He's done 365 days of hero workouts, no rest days, which like statistically, something would happen where you can't do something, but sickness and health, he's doing it.
Yeah.
I want him to do 365 days of .com, including the rest days and only that, and see how his fitness level improves because of it. Don't you think that'd be a cool experiment? I mean, like, what better of a test case study human being do you have to prove the efficacy of CrossFit training in .com than a guy who's done 2 straight years of workouts, half of being Murph and the other half being hero workouts with no rest days, just only .com. Whatever it is, don't do extra work. Take the like. I would love to see
best off everything. So everything. Then we're so classic. The idea would be, hey, you know what? It's not all about heavier or mass volume. It's intensity level.
Yep.
So go this, like maybe today he's only working, maybe it's Fran and he does it in 3.5 minutes.
Nothing else. No vest.
That would be a good test. That would be an interesting, yeah.
I really hope he does, because it would be the best empirical data we have ever had. And what CrossFit should do is document that for a year.
Well, I mean, I would say, I mean, honestly, I'd say pay them, because it's like you're, I mean, like, hey, okay, we are going to utilize you right now. You're going to do all these things. We're going to be posting it up. You're going to showcase it. We're going to test it. And I mean, that you're right. That's the laboratory right there in action.
It would help dispel these volume chasers.
Yeah.
And these more is better people. Because I guarantee you, he is going to get fitter doing .com only than whatever he's done for the last 2 years.
It'll be interesting.
And not a knock on what he's doing. Like, I can't even fathom. Every time I see his video, I'm like, how the fuck did you do that? And then the workout you did before that, and then you're going to do something like, it's insane. I cannot wrap my brain around what he's doing. And obviously, we talked to him of why he's doing it. It's a lot of stuff for like mental health, first responders and police. And, like his star is rising as it should. I think it's incredible work at what he's doing. It's freaking awesome. Yeah. I'm proud of him. It's badass. But man, I'd be curious just from the whole CrossFit methodology point of view.
That would be super cool. You think? I bet we could convince them. I bet
I
we
mean,
can convince them.
and guess what? You don't have to kill yourself for another year.
Yeah.
You get rest days.
Well, okay, but the thing is, it's like, okay, now it's not about checking the box. It's
Right,
about
right.
maximizing on whatever it is that you're doing. So no, you don't go heavier. You go whatever the prescribed is,
Mhm.
and you go all in. So now it's not about volume and weight necessarily. It's about intensity to see.
Right.
And I mean, and that's what he's had virtually, he's gone like deep into each one of those, deep into heavy, deep into long, now go deep into intensity.
Yep.
And see what that difference would be. That would be
Right?
cool.
Like,
That would be really cool.
it's the perfect time. There's no better time to do it.
Yeah.
I hope we can convince him. That'll be our thing. We're like, hey,
Okay.
come on our show. Let's talk about you. And we're like, do it. Intervention. All right. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for joining us for the CrossFit Journal Book Club. Greg Glassman's Chipper, article number 14. We will see you guys next week. Between now and then, have yourself a happy weekend and go get those Hooverball games started and tag us in it. Other than that, guys, take care.
Have a good weekend, guys.